Let's start with that one. Is he Helena's brother?
Si estuviera en otro lado que no fuera Apple TV Plus, probablemente la estaríamos comentando el triple. Pero por suerte, Severance creció muchísimo con respecto a la primera temporada, tanto en desarrollo como en su recepción. Y es una serie que no le tiene miedo a la complejidad, no nos trata como idiotas. En palabras de Olafur Darri Olafsson, es una serie que casi que se enorgullece de ser extraña y difícil de descifrar. Por eso hay mucho espacio para especular y para teorizar. Pero de vez en cuando está bueno que nos tiren alguna punta, ¿no? Acá lo pueden escuchar al gran Darri hablando sobre Helena y Drummond. ¿Será que son hermanos?
We now return to Mira Akian and Contré with our latest interview.
To me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of when Twin Peaks came out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember that was also a moment where TV was a little bland and it was just not much happening. And then all of a sudden this incredibly, wonderfully weird series came out and it was hugely successful.
Their work will be remembered as one of the greatest moments of this planet.
You too. I was doing my research and I find out that you were a part of Walter Mitty and you interacted with Ben. So tell me, did this movie have anything to do with you being a part of Severance? Was Ben the one who pointed out to you and called you for this?
So when me and Ben worked together on Walter Mitty, I think it's about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That was when we first met and we became good friends. For whatever reason, Ben became friends with me. I've always really looked up to him and I really admired him as an actor and also as a director. I think his films, Reality Bites, Cable Guy, Tropic Thunder, all these films are pretty amazing. And then when he, did Escape at Dannemora, I remember there was talk of trying to find me a part, and sadly I was doing another series at the time, so I wasn't available. But Ben has been such a great friend and collaborator. So I can honestly just I have to thank him for that. He kind of made sure that I was offered the part, and it makes me incredibly happy and proud to be part of such an iconic show.
Let's start with that one. Is he Helena's brother?
I don't want to say too much on that.
Okay.
What I can say is that we can see that there is a certain amount of respect. I think it's basically the only time we see any kind of kindness from Drummond.
Yeah,
is towards Helena. He obviously not only likes her, but yeah. I mean, she's the only person he seems to be really responds to, except for her father, and he seems to respect her. Yeah, I don't want to.
Don't worry about it. But so there's a lot more to your character that you know about him, and we didn't saw display on the show.
Well, I mean, probably some of the things I know, some of the things I, as an actor, just make up as backstory. Some of the stuff has been edited out.
Okay.
And I think just, it just feels kind of important that you don't tell people too much.
Okay.
Not that you want to hide anything from people, but I personally just think it's so much fun to be speculating what is what. I mean, I remember when I first was hired on the show, when I met Ben and Dan, in my first meeting with them, I asked them, what's up with the baby goats? And then I was just like, no, don't tell me. I'll find out. So that, that for me, it was kind of great fuel not to know. I really wanted to know, but it was also great no one was telling me.
They're fucking animals.
What about the look of your character? Because you are him, but you're nothing like him. especially with the haircut. So how did you define that, and why does he look like that?
Again, just Ben being such a great guy. I remember he was doing camera tests, and I had a wonderful hair and makeup team. John, who did my hair, is just one of the most amazing, and designed the hair in the show, is just an amazing designer. And Judy Chin is also incredible. She did designed the makeup, and Mandy Besesti, who's a great makeup artist, worked with me on the makeup. Or worked with me. She did the makeup. I tried to stay still while she tried to work. But yeah, I remember that. We went back and forth a couple of times, but I just love this comb over, this sort of kind of weird kind of feels like such such a weird 70s kind of hairdo. It was it's just kind of, but I love that. It really fits in with the strange environment and the sort of timelessness of Severance in many ways.
A needlessly complex word for a simple idea. Apologize for the word.
And what about the tattoo you have in your hand, the frolic one?
Frolic, yes. It's one of the one of the tenets of their belief. And I remember it was written into the script. I really loved, that Dan wrote that into the script. It's really beautiful. And I think it kind of hints that Mr. Drummond might have a past, maybe a shadier past. He certainly seems to be quite the zealot. He seems to be a man who is willing to do anything and everything for the company, and doesn't really hesitate to show violence if he feels he needs or can show it.
I'm leaving, okay?
Tell me about that death and that fight and death thing that you had to shoot. How fun was? How did you rehearse that? Tell me about that.
I mean, that was amazing. It was a massive undertaking. It took 3 days to shoot. And I can say, at least for me, I was dead tired by the end of the third day when we finished. And, we had our incredible stunt team working with us, trying to set up and choreograph the fight. We had a small accident. So when I sort of turn Adam around and bang him into the wall, he kind of hit the wall, and that take is in the show. So I was bummed from that, but Adam is such a nice person. He was like, no, it's all my fault. It was my fault, and take all responsibility. But in the end, I thought it was kind of amazing. Also because we haven't really seen violence, like physical violence on the show, even though we see these endless microaggressions and this passive aggressiveness and the kind of disturbing feeling that sort of hangs in the air. I think it's an incredible fight scene, and to get to do a fight scene with Adam and also Gwendolyn, who is such a great actress and such a wonderful human being. To get to do it with the two of them, it was just an amazing thing. It was really beautiful.
The four of you have become known as the face of Severance reform. Okay, so we're not in trouble?
I don't think so. Milchik said we're famous.
Why do you think the show is doing so well?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it is interesting because I think everyone has been trying to tell us that people want simpler material. They want to watch something that's easy to digest. Certainly, I feel that, big movies have all become a little more bland, a little less interesting. So I'm really happy that a show that's sort of almost prides itself of being a little strange and, you know, hard to decipher and hard to understand what's going on, is so popular. I think it's pretty amazing.